So using the tools of supply and demand, we can analyze some kind of policies and see their welfare implications. So here we will discuss some price control policy and their efficiency. So specifically, I will talk about the price control policy. So we have two cases, the price ceiling and the price floor. Price ceiling means the government set a maximum allowed price. That's the ceiling. And price floor means the government set a minimum allowed price. That's the floor. That's the minimum one, right? So price ceiling happens sometimes in the period where the country experiences a very high rate of inflation. So the government want to control the inflation, so they set a maximum price. They don't allow the uh, companies to increase their price. Right? The price floor example for price floor is the minimum wage. So to improve the workers' welfare, they set minimum wage. That's the minimum price for the labor. And when are these policies effect or binding? So the price control is binding if it prevents the equivalent price. What does it mean? So suppose for the price ceiling, the price ceiling is binding when it's below the equivalent price because that's the highest price you can have. You cannot have something higher. Without the control, the natural equivalent price will be the P0, right? So with the control, we can only have the PC. So suppose some price ceiling that's higher than the equivalent price. That ceiling doesn't do anything because naturally we will be in the equivalent price, which is lower than the ceiling. So for price floor, that will be only effective if it's above the equivalent price. So suppose price floor below the equivalent price, that doesn't do anything because our natural price is already above the price floor, right? It's already satisfied the requirements. So efficiency, when in the PPF section, we talk about the productive efficiency, which means keeping the available resources constant. We cannot produce more of one good without reducing the production of another good. Right? In general, we talk an outcome is efficient when it's impossible to improve the situation of one party without imposing a cost to another. Right? So when alternatively, we say an outcome is inefficient when it's possible to benefit at least one party without imposing cost on others. Within the demand and supply framework, we can calculate some welfare. So we have consumer surplus, producer surplus, and total surplus. Right. So the producer surplus is this area which is quite straightforward. It's just the profit of the producers, right? Because the supply curve is the marginal cost, and if the producers they produce the first unit, they will earn the difference between the price and cost, right? And they keep producing the second unit, they earn the difference between the price and the second unit marginal cost. And they keep doing this until the equilibrium outcome, right? So, and they add all the profits from all units together. That's this area. That's the producer surplus, right? So for consumer surplus is more abstract, but the idea is similar. So the consumer demand is the consumer's marginal benefit, right? So to consume the first unit, the difference between the marginal benefit and the price they pay is the gain from consuming that unit, right? And the consumers keep consuming, and for each unit, they will gain the difference between benefit and the cost, and they keep doing that until the equilibrium outcome. So in the end, this area will be the consumer surplus, right? And if we add consumer surplus and producer surplus together, we got the total surplus or social surplus. In that case, we don't have any debt we lost, right? So an outcome is efficient when total surplus is maximized, like here, right? Meaning that we cannot make consumers better off without making producers worse off, or vice versa, because it's already maximized. If we want to increase one party's surplus, we must decrease the other party. If it's instead, if it's not maximized, we can still increase one party's surplus without reducing the other party's, right? So that's when an outcome is efficient, or that we lost is zero. So if it's inefficient, that we lost is larger than zero. What's that we lost? That we lost describes a situation where equilibrium trade is reduced by outside intervention. That's our welfare loss compared to the maximum social welfare case, right? So here is an example of the welfare analysis with the price ceiling policy. So suppose we have this initial equilibrium, right? As we said before, the pink triangle is the producer surplus, and the blue triangle is the consumer surplus. Suppose now we have a price ceiling. Now the producers can only sell their goods at this PC, right? At this PC, producers only produce until this QC. So the small pink triangle becomes the new producer surplus. For consumers, because there's only QC quantity supplied, so consumers can also only consume until QC, right? So for every unit from 0 to QC, they will earn some benefit or surplus. So this area in total will become consumer surplus, A plus C, right? So in this case, total surplus will be A plus C plus E. If you compare with the initial equilibrium here, initial equilibrium price is here, consumer surplus is A plus B, producer surplus is C plus D plus E, right? So with the price ceiling, we are missing something. Where do we miss? We are missing this triangle, right? That's B plus D. That's our debt we lost, right? So at most, our maximum social welfare or social surplus is is obtained when we don't have this price ceiling. With the price ceiling, consumers and producer surplus we add together get smaller than before, and we are missing this B plus D. That's our debt we lost.